There's room in the chatter, it's all just a show. The code that they splatter is hollow, you know. Craft your own structure, don't follow their They're running a culture that's destined to fail. Don't join the code, just write better code. Don't turn a blind eye to the damage they sow. They make it look easy, but often it's not. Your skills might feel breezy when truly they're caught. Rise above the clutter, strive for what's real. In logic and pattern, true power you'll feel. Errors keep mounting while standards decay. Stop the code haunting in your own. There's a way. Craft your own structure, don't follow their trail. They're running the culture that's destined to fail. Don't join the cult, just write better code. Don't turn a blind eye to the damage they sow. Make it look easy, make it look easy. Make it look easy, the damage they sow. Make it look easy. They make it look easy, but often it's not. Your skills might feel breezy when truly they're caught. They make it look easy, but often it's not. Your skills might feel breezy when truly they're caught. Rise above the clutter, strive for what's real. In logic and pattern, true power you'll feel. Errors keep mounting while standards decay. Stop the code haunting in your own. There's a way. Rise above the clatter, strive for what's real. In logic and pattern, true power you'll feel. Errors keep mounting while standards decay. Stop the code haunting in your own. There's a way.
In a one-room cabin lit by a lonesome screen glow, every night I listen to the prophets who claim to know. They wear their headphones tight, their voices ring so clear, but every line they preach feels a bit insincere. They promise shortcuts to heaven in the syntax they choose, but the errors in my heart say it's all just a ruse.
All right. What's up, folks? Hey, Pure. How's it going? Good to see you. I'll get some Twitch ads out of the way. And we'll get this show on the road. Yeah, I will. X-Tech Lead. Congrats joining Twitter. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. You know, when Elon called me to invite me to the team, I was shocked. But he saw the stupid little ship game thing and he's like, bro, You know, if you can do this, then you can send us to Mars. So how about you join X? And here I am, you know? The rest is history, as they say. Okay. Um so what am I working on? So earlier today I went over how we got the HTMX stuff working on the server. And let me just make sure that I actually have. Okay, I need to commit my updates here. I don't remember what I did. Okay, so I have what's up, Adaraz? I have HTMX working. It runs by replacing the multiplayer element of the UI with server-based HTML and just swaps it in and out. The server is working, the Discord bot is working, so you can join Discord and you can ask for a key, and said key will be provided for you. You have to have a role, and you'll get a special role, and then you can use special / commands to get access to the game, and then you can play the game multiplayer with other people. So to carry off on what I was working on earlier, I wrote down a few to-do items. Just some general to-dos that I think we're going to need. The map looks pretty bland, and I want to make the map look a bit nicer and fill in more. So to that end, I'm going to be generating random areas of the map where special, like, what would you call them? I guess tiles or assets are placed, and it's going to be generated by the server, and then it's going to get passed down to all the players. So that way, every time you play the game, it's pretty random. You're not going to get the same kind of map every time, hopefully, and we'll let the server make that decision and then tell all the players what to do. Okay, that was one thing. Another thing is I'd like to have the admins have special powers, which we've already started doing that, so we just need to continue doing that. I want to add a center camera on function so that we can center the camera on particular players who are taking their turn in the multiplayer mode. And we have a Kraken in here, but I want to randomize the Kraken and have it admin controlled as well. So the Kraken will show up like only when the server decides that it's time, or when an admin calls for it. And then I'm not happy with the UI, the way that the game is rendered versus the game state, but that's a bit of a tall order. I don't think we're going to get to that tonight. But there's a few minor tweaks we can make tonight just to clean up the multiplayer. Twitch just showed you 8 ads. Nice. I just made like 3 cents. Sweet. I made 3 cents off you, Parasocial. That's sweet. Oh, that's sweet, sweet Bezos bucks. Can't get enough. Know what I'm saying? Okay. So, to randomly generate a map, here's the deal. I'm going to show you what I have and just kind of talk about it out loud really briefly. Yeah. Right now we're generating a world called Dingus Land. That's where multiplayer takes place. It's in Dingus Land. I have a world called Athens. If I cancel this, okay, there's my Athens world. And I can just get into it, start playing it. It's all good. So that's great. What I'm trying to solve here. Right now, these worlds are hard coded into the game. They're part of the single player game. I could recycle a bunch of these worlds and recycle their values and whatnot. But what I would rather do is once you're connected via multiplayer, I would prefer to have the server generate a bunch of random world data. And to that end, I have created a, where did it go? I think I called it generate matrix. Yeah. I've created a generate matrix function on the server. So this is using bun. And you provide it with the size of the world and the number of players and NPC characters. And then it will just fill up the world with spawn points and other data like little islands, places you can't step over, things like that. It does seem to be working because when I run the server, I get a bunch of matrix data with values. And so now what I need to do is I need to take these values and convert them into something that's meaningful into the game state on the server. Then that game state will ship all that data to all the players. So what I did was I took the value 42 and 42 will represent like an island, like a blocked off island in the game. So anytime we see 42 in the matrix data, then we can generate an island asset in the game. To do that, I have to go through the matrix data and read off all of the values. And anytime I see 42, I have to add that value to the world, to the global layer here. And I have to set up a blocker, like in the block layer. I have to make sure that I add a blocked value so that NPCs and players can't step over that island. So to do that, I think it's safe to say that I can treat this as XY or YX. Which one is it? I think it's YX. No, it's XY. That's what it is. Matrix ship X, ship Y. That's what it is. XY. Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay. So I can read off XY. And here, let's pseudocode it just a little bit. So it would be, well, let me go up here. Okay. First of all, I need to pass in a bunch of data. And the data I need to pass in is the fleet data. It needs to know who the players are and who the NPCs are and how many ships there are going to be. So I'm going to fake it out for now. I'll just fake it out. Player 1 will have 2 ships. Player 2 will have two ships. There's no player 3 for the time being. NPC 1 will also have 2 ships. They will all have 2 ships. And the Kraken will only have 1 ship. So this will be Blackbeard, and this will be Kraken. Okay, so I don't need to store. Okay, that's going to be our matrix. Now what should happen is if I go x equals 0, x is less than 100, which is a magic number, so to do remove the magic number being that we're not dynamically determining the world size, so if we ever decide to change the world size, it's going to be a problem. Hey, what's up, Mist? Good to see you on the Twitch side. Appreciate you being here, man. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Laugh? Good to see you too. So we're going to increment the x and y coordinates by the magic number, which we'll get rid of afterwards. We have to store this into a value. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to read it. And then we're going to go if matrix xy is equal to 42. Then we'll just console log it. And 69, 420, baby. And we'll just do that. Now, if I run the server and I decide to join and play the game, 2, 1, game is starting. Okay. Can't find variable y because I didn't actually give it a var. Okay. Can you just chill out? Man, you'd think something as dynamic as JavaScript would be okay with undefined things. Seriously. Okay, let's see. Do we get a bunch of 69 420s? Oh, yeah, look at that. 69 420s all the way. Hey, what's up, Rara on YouTube? Have you read Structured Computer Organization by Tenenbaum? I have not. No. Would you recommend that book, Rara? Okay, so that's good. It means that we have a way to take the value 42 from the server and make it mean something for us. If we do that, I suppose we could go over to layer 1 and we could simply do this. And if we find 42 anywhere, then we're going to have to render it somehow. So we can solve that in a minute. Okay. X, Y, 42. I'm putting it in here because this is the way that we it's a big array in JavaScript, and essentially it provides us a way to not have to worry about sending the entire world data down to the clients, because that would be a huge amount of data. Trying to learn hardware stuff, so the assembly language makes more sense to me. If you're doing hardware stuff, Rara, then of course, yeah, assembly will make a lot of sense. C will also make a lot of sense. And then anything beyond that starts to make a little bit less sense as you move away from it. So I get it, Rara. Yeah. I don't know what you guys think. Yeah, that's what I think. Assembly and C make the most sense if you're doing hardware stuff. Stick to that. If you start going into other things like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of one. I'm trying to think of like Rust. You start moving, or JavaScript. There's a good one. There's a really good one. You start to move away from hardware stuff, and that's bad. Okay, straying from hardware is bad. Okay, that's how we find ourselves with terrible software. So don't do that. Don't participate in that. Oh, Nadet, best viewers on ViewTurbo.ru. Nice, man, nice. Nadet on Twitch, best viewers. I appreciate that link. All right. So I store layer values in one big JavaScript array, and then I also add them to the game state. I don't want to ship off the game state, so I use the array to just kind of send only the values that I want to send. If I were to do this, can I confirm that my values get updated? Let's see. Okay, so we have the Kraken. Yeah. Is there anywhere here that has the value 42? Let me just do something like, since this is all DOM elements. Yeah. Look at that. Okay. Now what we can do is, now that we have value 42, we can actually generate a, wait, let me go back. Let me figure it out first. We can generate a an asset for it. Okay. Yeah, it has to be 3 times. Yeah. So you modernize the UI. Yeah, I made updates to the UI. Yeah, I did. Rara, why does the industry push the bloat languages so hard? Rara, the industry pushes bloat languages really hard because the industry is made up full of low tier programmers who are too lazy to want to push themselves to actually learn and understand what they're doing, and they hide behind the abstractions because the abstractions make it easier for them to have to not have to learn things in any meaningful way, but get the same kinds of things accomplished. And it makes them feel good because they get a paycheck, they get a job, their managers pat them on the back, they get that sweet venture capitalist money, or that investor money. Everybody makes money off of it, and nobody really has to learn anything. And so these bloat languages are a coping mechanism for people who don't actually want to put the effort in to really learn or study anything that they should be in the industry. That's why there are bloat languages. There you go, Rara. And that's why they're pushed so hard. Corporations ruin everything. It's not really the corporations exactly. It's more like it's people. Corporations are just made up of people. So people ruin everything. I'm just looking for the island one. Just a sec, folks. Let me just see if I can find the island. If people actually cared, here's how I can prove it. I can prove that it's the people, not the corporations. Well, I mean, first of all, corporations are not a thinking, oh, it's right here. Okay, I just need to keep going. They're not like a thinking human being, right? A corporation is composed of multiple people. That's usually what it is. Also, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. 16 and 0. if people were more willing to if people actually really cared about money, they would invest in doing a better job building better software and better websites and less bloat, less crap, etc. Because it makes more money in the long term. And that's been proven over and over again, both by economic markets and also by scientific data. So it's kind of, they're kind of, I don't know, putting handcuffs on themselves, so to speak. You need to install like 8 gigs of crap to compile C# code. It's true, you do, yeah. But C# code is good. There was a time when I thought C# code was good, and now I'm not so convinced anymore. I'm definitely not as convinced anymore, that's for sure. Okay, I need to go over here, and I need to go into my CSS. And 42 becomes 16 and 0. Further, I think it's the block layer I'm looking for. Let me go make sure. Yes. Block layer ID. I have to do this as well. Right? Yes, that's right. X, Y, 1. I enumerable, C# is mediocre. It's like Go. It's mid-range. Now, do I need to pass? Do I need to pass the block? Okay, I'm going to put is block here. True. And then what that will tell the clients that if they receive I flukishly ended up in the right place even though I didn't search for the right damn thing. But anyways, we'll just go with it. So right here, we're going to go if actually we don't need to do that. No. We've already set this up. As long as we pass in the right values, then the client will just add those values in. So we're good to go. We're good to go for the block. Okay, great. Let's see how well this works. If at all. Anything? Why? Did I not build it maybe? I probably just didn't build it. Yeah, okay. Let me build. That's why. Done in by my own systems. I built the things that have screwed. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And if I go, yeah, look at that. Okay. So that's great. Yeah, this is great. It's all randomized here. Sweet. And I can just keep going and going and going and going. Okay. Sweet. This is awesome. So now we have randomized maps. We can go and increase the number of little islands. I think it's 200, which is also a magic number. Remove magic number. We should variate this, but if we wanted to do like 300, we could just increase it and have more islands. That's good. We're off to a good start. So now that our server is generating random, like a random world, we can kind of expand on this and set up a spawn point for each player and each NPC and spawn everybody in the respective positions that they should be in. This one's going to be tricky. And the reason why it's going to be tricky, it's nice and easy to see everybody spawned in right at the start here. But when you have people spread out over a large map, you need a way to be able to like center in on them. That's kind of why I have this to do. Center camera. So ideally, I would want to do something like you start the game and you'd click on a player here on the player list, and it would center the camera to either the player or the NPC taking whatever turn. Or even better would be if I went directly into the game itself, into the C code, and whenever the state of the ocean battle changed, it just auto-centered to the current turn. Whoever's currently taking a turn, whether that's an NPC or a player. So I kind of need a camera center function right away, and maybe then I can just implement it directly into the game, and then I don't have to send that command over the server. I can just let each person's local client deal with centering the camera. Let me find my camera functions. Move camera. Here we go. Move camera right, move camera up, update camera, get camera offset. So I would want to do camera center camera on, and it would probably be world coordinate X and a world coordinate Y. All right, now if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to have to go and do some calculations. I'm going to need to store intended X and intended Y. And then I have to take world X and then have to subtract where is my viewport size? Oh, maybe I can just do this. Yeah, get viewport width divided by 2. Oh, actually, I don't know if that's going to work. Because of U32, I don't think it'll go. I guess it would go below 0. Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's see how far we get with this. It might be so this would be a negative space in some cases, and that could be a problem. So I'd have to make sure. I have to figure that out. You've returned for now? Hey, Pure. Okay, so keeping in mind that I might have to deal with non-negative values, because a U32 I don't think can go below 0 except for -1, which is technically just the max U32 minus 1. Okay, anyways, let's just see if we can get some of the math out. So then I would want to go intended, oh man, intended X. And this would equal get camera. Oh wait, is it camera offset? It is. Camera offset is camera position. That's right. So we actually don't need a function for that. We just go camera offset X. And then that's our default. Yeah, okay, that's our default value. It's if intended X is less than 0, then we're going to default is kind of pseudocode. This isn't how I want to do it exactly there. Okay, otherwise it's going to be whatever your camera offset or your current camera position is. No, it's going to be whatever your intended is. Okay, man. Okay, and then we do the same thing. Intended Y. If intended Y is less than 0, then it's 0. Otherwise, it's just intended Y. So it's okay. So literally, we're just doing a 0 check in case this actually works. I don't even know if it's going to work. Okay, then intended X is going to equal whatever intended, if intended X is greater than world size, world width, then we subtract, no, if intended X is greater than get world width, and then we subtract viewport, get viewport width. And the reason why we do that this made sense to me a second ago. The default value, it's either that or it's something or intended X. If we have a world width that's greater, oh yeah, okay, I see. Because we need to calculate get world width, get viewport width. We need to get we need to update the value so that we account for the fact that the viewport might be smaller than the world, and so we're going to have an offset value, and this is kind of like a pseudo offset value. And I guess we would have to do the same thing here. We'd take the world width, the world height. We'd subtract the viewport height, and if it's greater than that, then our offset becomes that value. So we make sure that we account for the fact that we might have a viewport that's smaller than the world, essentially. If it's bigger than the world, then we don't have to worry about it. So then camera offset X will be intended X, and camera offset Y will be intended Y. I have no idea if this is going to work. It's not going to work. This isn't right. Let me go to the top here and figure out why. I see. We need to... We are trying to access functions that we haven't yet declared even. I guess I'll just do a forward declaration. All right, forward declarations. I'll put it here. Let's see if that helps. It removed some stuff, but not everything. Okay. Too few arguments. Single argument ID was not get world width. Oh, center camera. It's not get world width. It's get current. Get current. That's what we want. Okay, that seems to have worked. If this does indeed work, what I should do is pull up a single player version of the game, and I will load Athens. I'll move this over. And let's see if this works. Center camera on, and let's say 10:10. And then I have to redraw. And I have to run render. That does indeed work. Okay. I am shocked, but okay. Let me load Athens again. If I center the camera on, like, what happens if I center the camera on, this would be 8 and 8. So 10 and 10 would be over, so it'd be over here. So what if I centered it on, like, oh, let's see what happens on 1 and 1. Okay. But 10 and 10 work. Okay, so something's a little bit off, but it's pretty darn close. So 10 and 6 work. But 6 is not really, like 5 shouldn't be doing that, right? Like, it's weird that 6 is. Yeah, so something's off with the math, but holy crap, that worked a lot better than I thought it would. Yeah, so I bet you it's got something to do with, like, that negative thing. So let me just do let's see, what could I do? I could spit out my values, I suppose, and see what my values look like. It'll be 2. Okay. Intended X. Y. We'll do debug center camera. And then as we make the changes, we'll just spit out the console logs and see what happens. So we're going to load Athens. Then we're going to center the camera on, let's say 10 and 6. So the camera is set at 4 and 0. That looks correct. Yeah, there we go, -1. So there's something it's something to do with negative. I wonder if I could just do I'm just curious if my suspicion is correct. And if it's because of, yeah, yeah, that's exactly why. Okay, so it's got to do with the negative value. So I guess what I should do is maybe just kind of think about this a little bit more simply. I'll put this back to U32. And essentially what I want to do is if my world X is uh let me think about this. If my world X that I'm passing in is within the bounds of my viewport width or height, then I don't need to do anything. If it's in like the first yeah, okay. So we can break this down into a few things. So if world X is less than or equal to get viewport width, there's nothing we need to do. Intended X can just be camera offset X. It'll just be the same value as whatever it is now. No, it should be 0. Because our viewport, let's say our viewport width is 8, that if you're between 0 and 8, then you're in the world 0 and 8. So it's just 0. So that's literally it. If world Y is in the same boat, it's also 0. Okay, that's one set of logical functions that kind of makes sense. However, if it's beyond the viewport width or the viewport height, then we need to do an offset check. And the offset check is what are the coordinates that were passed versus the offset we would need. And that is actually what we're doing here, is if the offset world X would be half the viewport, that's what you start with. You take half the viewport. And you subtract it from the world data. If intended X is less than 0, and then you do intended Y. Okay, so what I'm going to do is break up intended X, intended Y. Okay, so now we've separated the logic out again. And then this just becomes that. That should pretty much make no difference, like just about no difference. Load the world. Center on one, yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, it's not doing anything. Am I doing this right? Okay, that worked. 0, 0 is fine. 15, 13, 12. Okay, so it made a difference, but not much of one, which is fine. I think it's okay if I did less than. And okay, so now what we do, we have to take our intended target position and subtract half the viewport width from it. Which is exactly what we're doing. Okay. We probably don't need this anymore because we're not doing anything that's less than. If our intended X is greater than the current world width minus the viewport width, I don't think this is right anymore. We should do a checkup here that if world X is greater than get current world width, that's bad jujubes. Try to center camera beyond world width. I think it should actually be greater than or equal to, and we'll do the same thing for world Y. Okay. At this point, we actually don't even need this anymore. So I wonder if we just like simplified it because we used a bunch of if-else statements. Could you imagine? No, not this. I want to do this. I'm going to take over the world like that, and then I will 0 and 12. 11. Yeah, okay. Nine, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Our viewport size is 12 by 12, so that makes sense. If I do 13, what happens? It just goes over 1, yeah. Because technically, anything less than 12 is within the original viewport size. So it just goes down here. Yeah, it doesn't try and do anything fancy. Okay, this is good enough. I can make it fancier and do like better coordinate checks and whatnot, but this will do. So at this point, I can actually use center camera on my scene, on my ocean battle scene, and I can do something like when somebody takes a turn, center camera on their position. All right. Over here, the NPC is taking an action. And I wonder, can I just do it right here? Can I just get the coordinates of the world NPC ID? I think I can. Yep, just like that. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So all I need to do, where am I getting this world NPC from? Let's just deal with, since we're here, let's deal with the NPC first. I go like this. So I'll go center camera on and get world NPC position X, I believe is what it is. Yep. Get world NPC position Y. Okay, so that centers the camera there. And then I want to do the exact same thing over where? Player take turn. Exactly here. And where is my world NPC ID? Let me go down to player take turn. Maybe it's in there. The NPC for the player is a little bit different because it's not like a real NPC. It's a fake NPC. Get current ocean battle turn player ID. It's somewhere in here that we're doing this. Yeah, here. Right here. Let's center the camera on them. We'll put it right here, even though it's probably not the best place in the long run, but it'll do. Get world NPC position X. And the reason why I don't think it's the best place in the long run is that I don't always want, just because this function executes doesn't mean that I want the camera to get centered, but we're going to go with it. Oh, what did I do wrong? 5325. No, 5352. Jeez. What's going on here? Expected Patronum. 53. What am I doing wrong? 5352. Expected Patronum. Is it this? That's what it's the extra comma. All right. What should happen is let's go over to the server. We're going to set one of these guys over to like a really far position and we'll see what happens. Let's set somebody over to X. Let's say 20. One of Blackbeard's ships will be 20. Okay. I'll go back here. I'll join the game. Okay. And if I don't know if this is gonna work. Okay, the NPC makes a choice. Yeah, all that happens. Wait. This did not. This did not reset proper. Okay. If I go over here, there's a ship. Uh-huh. Sure, I'll farm again. The positions are really weird. Oh no, that's still there. Where the heck is this coming from then? Holy crap, that cracking is like, dear lord. I'm just gonna skip my turns. Oh well, this is very strange. So there's something going on with the player values and stuff. So what if I just did a manual center, since I know where my Blackbeard ship is, and it's over here. What if I just manually ran a centered command? So if I just went camera center on, and it was like X being like, I don't know, 15 maybe, Y 0. Yeah. 18, 19, 20. And okay, so the actual camera function is working correctly. It's just that there's something weird with the placement of world NPCs. So I just got to sort that out. But technically, yes, this is correct. And look at that. It's centered right back. Okay, so we know it's working. We actually do know it's working. It's centered right back on the person it was supposed to center back on. So there we go. Full proof. Full proof. Foolproof. Can I move to a blocked coordinate? I can, and I shouldn't be able to. So that's bad. That's bad. Okay. Can I move over someone else? Nope. Okay, good. I can't move over there. Okay. Let's just, here, we'll fire some cannons. I'm really scared about the stupid Kraken. It killed me instantly. This Kraken gets way too many turns. Dear Lord. This player 0 thing. Let me just write a few bugs down here. Bugs to fix. Camera center on. No, we know camera center on is working. If ship is beyond viewport, they magically teleport into viewport. Another thing is ships can move over top of blocked coordinates, aka islands. The other thing that's an issue is who the hell is player 0? Like, who is player 0? I don't know who player 0 is. and now we're stuck on player 0. Fantastic. Current term player ID is 42949672295, which is, I think, max 32 minus 1. So I guess there's an issue. The map is indeed randomizing. That's a really good sign. Oh, damn, the Kraken. Oh, the Kraken's gonna kill me, like, instantly. Okay. And the Kraken moved over an island. It shouldn't be able to do that. I just want to confirm. Can I move here to this island? I should not be able to. Yeah, I can. That's no good. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll solve that. We will solve it. Hey, Andy Cod, thank you for the follow. That was like 18 minutes ago. I'm sorry I missed it, man, but I appreciate it on the Twitch side. I got zoned in and wasn't paying attention, but yeah, thank you. Okay. This is Gala, which is Greek for good. Okay, so we'll have to fix these bugs. Randomly generating a map is technically complete because it is random. The islands show up random every single time, which is great because now what I can do is like cool stuff like instead of islands, I can pick like portions of land, like overworld land, and just preset like their asset numbers and whatnot, and lay them out however I like. And as long as I get the block coordinates down, then it means that nobody can move through them, which would also be great. It would add an extra layer of like challenge. What's also good about this is if I can solve it on the bun side, I can take the same code that generates the randomness and I can move it into the game itself. And then I can generate random maps based on things like if you're in a particular location in the world and you initiate a battle, it can kind of take into account like the landscape of the overworld and apply some randomness within wherever you're having the battle in the overworld. So that I'm glad that that's working. That's going to lead into much cooler things. Center camera on, we know works, so we can get rid of that. So we have forced reload, random Kraken, and rendering UI. Let me just have a look at this blocked thing and see if I can figure out why we're allowing movement over blocked tiles. Valid move coordinates. Okay, somewhere here. Yeah, our coordinates blocked. So what's going on here? Block layer. Do I not have a block layer on my Dingus world? Oh, maybe I don't. I don't. I am foolish. Okay, I need to add the block layer. That would explain why I was suffering so much. The block layer, I think we can copy. Let me just do kind of this. Layer is block. Perfect. Okay, let's try this. Three, two, one. Let's go. Okay. Sure. Get out of here. If I do a move. Crap. Fine. Jeez. Oh, no, come on. Yeah. Okay. Can I move? Crap. Sure, I'll move you down here. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm gonna have to fix this turn order crap. But let me try this again. Got super unlucky there. Nope, don't like this either. Do it again. I did the yeah. I have to stop doing that. It's so annoying. It genuinely is annoying. I hate it. Here we go. Okay. I promise I will work on stopping that stupid yeah thing. Really? Here we go. No, of course you're not gonna move. Okay. Aha! There we go. I can't move there. Perfect. I can move here. Sweet. And nope, I can't move there. Sweet, we figured that out. One bug down. Okay, perfect. Turn order. I think this is related. Who the hell's player 0 is probably related to turn order. Also related. Sometimes a player gets stuck in infinite turns. Not sure how or why, but yeah. Okay, that's good. Let's make sure. Okay, so 3D is still working. That's all good. Here, I'll do this. I am curious what would happen with 3D with the camera, so I'm going to test that out, but just in a second. All right, so if I do this, yeah, okay, sweet. We're at player 0 again, so we've broken everything, but yeah, 3D is working, and so is the camera in 3D, which is perfect. That's good. And I like that my mouse over with world coordinates also still works in 3D. I didn't even think to test that. Yeah, it does. It works. Works great. And then you can just hold it down and it'll skip over right to the end. Sweet. Oh, this is great. Okay, now what I could do is a an implementation of randomly setting the positions of fleets and fleet ships. In order to do that, I would essentially have to go over the matrix again. And any time that I see a value that is representative of one of the ships, set it there. Position X. Position Y. This is a little weird. I don't know why I broke this up this way. It makes it hard to read. Okay. I would do, we're again, magic number. We're going to go X and Y. And then we'll go if matrix X, Y is equal to player index plus one. Hang on. Was that how I was doing it? Let me go back here. How was I determining player index? It was player value for each fleet. So the first player would be 100 plus 100 times, say 0. So it'd be 100 and then 1. Okay, so player index would be 100 plus 100 times, I think it's P that we're going over. Yeah, there's our player index plus 1. Okay, so let's just do player index. And then Y. And well, we're going to have to break it twice, huh? We'll have to do a found. Here, I'll just do found equals false, found equals true. Do a break, and we'll do it here as well. Yeah, I should probably restructure the for loop so we do an early break, but it's fine for now. And then we'll do the exact same thing. But I'll do it down here for the next ship. Player index. For each players and their fleets. So we increment the player index for the second one in this fleet. Okay. I think we're good. So we'll do X and Y. We'll do X and Y. We'll take out this X and Y. And hope that I got it right. Okay. It looks like I probably got it right. Let's see. Yep, I did. Yeah. They are indeed spawning ships in their own spawn points. That's a spawn area, which kind of, I guess I have an issue here. It bleeds over. If I do none, I just want to hide this. This one is red, and then this one is green. Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's good. Now I can essentially do a bunch of cleanup work, placing the positions down. Not a bad place to be. All right, so all this set portion of generating the worlds needs to be cleaned up quite a bit. But we do have random placement. I think it probably would make sense. Possible bug placing player ships down. They might be overlapping each other. Let's say that I copied it over for Nutcracken, for Blackbeard. Where is position X for Blackbeard? Where are you? Here you are. Right here. You are technically what? 3? Yeah. Let's see what happens. This might freak out. I might have a bad variable thing. Well, we'll find out in a sec. Okay, no, that did actually work. Okay, throw this over, throw this over. Yeah, get out of here. Throw this over. All right. Where are you? There's that. Did I do something wrong? One, two, three. Oh, I gave it 3. Oh, so it actually was working. Oh. So this one was actually fine the whole time. So that's not a bug. That's just me forgetting that I had 3 ships instead of 2. Yeah, there it is. So there definitely seems to be an overlap issue. So I'm glad we checked that. But other than that, it's working. And I have some administrative functions and they're all working. Yeah, oh, so it's gone. Yeah. Let's see if there's like 3 fleet 3 fleet ship 5. Yeah, so there's totally a yeah. There's a placement issue with the matrix, but I can resolve that. Nice. Okay, that works great. Now, just out of curiosity. So it does center, but it does a weird center. Also, this is kind of weird. Okay, so there's 2. Okay, so there's a little bit of a rendering issue here, but yeah, for sure there's a rendering issue. We teleported way off. Okay, so I'll have to resolve all that. But the centering to the camera does work. The placement generally works. We just were rendering weird. The turn order generally works. I wonder if the scores work. I just want to test the scores. Let's say that I did something like, let's go. We'll set one of these to. Oh man, what can I do? Okay, I got an idea. I'll take one of these ships. One of Blackbeard's ships, and I'm going to set it as lamb for the slaughter. If I destroy one, I should see my score point go higher. Hopefully I get placed correctly. Okay, there it is. It's right there. If I go ahead and confirm this, that's player 2, move. Okay, end the turn, move. Attacking with cannon, okay. Move. I'm gonna move right here. I'm going to, hey, what's up? What? Damn. Jonathan Blow rating. Holy crap, guys. Okay, listen. Okay. First of all, Jonathan Blow, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Shout out to Jonathan Blow. Okay. Listen, if you're a Jonathan Blow fan, you're gonna like what we're doing here. Let me tell you what's going on here. One sec, I need to do this proper, okay? Let me tell you what's going on here. Jonathan Blow will appreciate this. The entire point of my stream, welcome in everyone. The entire point of my stream is to demonstrate that we're in the opposite of whatever the golden age of tech is. I am a high school self-taught dropout. high school dropout, self-taught, okay? Didn't even finish grade 11. And the whole point of what I'm doing on screen, what you guys caught me doing, what you're in the middle of, is because the entire tech industry is just full of programmers who are too lazy to understand what's going on under the hood. And they love their abstractions, and they love things like React, and they love all the little tools and build chains and whatever they do, to make them feel better about the things they're programming without understanding what they're programming. So there's an implied kind of message that's being sent to all of you, which is, hey, you're too stupid to understand what you're doing. So use our abstracted framework, language, or library with all these guardrails and things, because it's not safe if you don't. You don't know what you're doing. You're just going to be recreating the wheel. People much smarter than you have already solved these problems. Why would you do that? It's basically exactly what Jonathan Blow says. Okay. But I take a much harder stance. Now, in order for me to just not, get on a soapbox and complain about it, but to actually demonstrate that this is the case, I'm a web developer by trade, but I am self-taught with some low-level stuff as well. So let me show you what I'm doing to demonstrate that you are not as stupid as you're being implicitly told, and that the entirety of the industry, from video games to websites to desktop software like Electron crap and all of that, all it's doing is causing problems, and it's making the tech industry worse and worse, and we just seem to continue to just be okay with it. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. Let me switch back. All right. So you see on my game, you see on my screen, I have a game, right? I'm recreating a game it's my favorite game of all time. It's from the Super Nintendo era. It's called Uncharted Waters: New Horizons. It's a very complex game. You have to build a fleet of ships, and you travel the world. There's 6 storylines. They intersect with each other. You have to manage your fleet. You have to manage like all the crew members in the fleet, how much cargo you carry. You can be an explorer, a trader, a merchant, take your pick. There's like an economy system, there's a battle system, things like that. It's a crazy, insane. Now, the reason why I say that the tech industry is in the opposite of the golden age is because this was the golden age. The hardware for the Super Nintendo is objectively extremely limited by today's standards. And if you compare what people did, what programmers and video game designers had to do on this kind of hardware, compared to the kind of absolute horse shit that we get today with hardware that these people could only dream of at the time, it begs the question, right? What the hell is going on? So I'm recreating this game. Here's how I'm doing it. Let me go back to, sorry. So first of all, my brain can't handle colors. So I just have a very plain color scheme. I have written a game that is a header-only library file in vanilla C. There are no structs, no pointers. It's just flat arrays with pre-allocated memory, and it's a header library because then I can include it in a bunch of other stuff, and I will show what I'm including it in next. So I compile this puppy to WebAssembly. Okay, so if you look here, I'm compiling it using just Clang. There's no make files. There's nothing fancy going on. It's just Clang, non-optimized for debugging purposes. So I compile it to WebAssembly. I then take that WebAssembly and I load up the game here on the browser. So on the browser, you can literally just work with exactly the functions and memory that here are all my functions, okay? The WebAssembly acts as a game state manager. It's just inputs and outputs for numbers. The numbers are representative of things that you would want to render. And so what you essentially imagine, if the WebAssembly acts as a local server and the browser acts as a local browser. Now, what has happened is that the browser and web standards and JavaScript and all of this stuff has The web is essentially the easiest path to the most stupid, ridiculous, complicated programming systems and paradigms that any man could possibly think of. It is the easiest place to insert the most brain dead mechanisms of creating websites. So as an example, React, right? It's the pinnacle. It's the absolute, I love showing this. It's the absolute pinnacle of web frameworks, right? So it should be flawless and beautiful, right? And then you have this. And I can just do this. I could do this all night. I could just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. The pinnacle of web development was probably puking right now. This is disgusting. I'm sorry, Jonathan, you're probably puking right now. But this is what's considered the pinnacle of web development. And tech influencers and streamers and so on will tell you that this is the way that you should be doing, you know, a massive amount of your websites. Hey, is vanilla CSS? Is vanilla CSS too intimidating? Don't worry, bro. Add a build chain like Tailwind to create the same CSS that you would handwrite anyways. You just kicked the complexity down to the build chain tool pipe. I live in this world and I hate what it has become. Why am I bringing this up? Back to what we were talking about. So you have WebAssembly, right? You have WebAssembly. The whole premise of my stream, the reason why I started it, is to demonstrate, among other things like I just talked about, but also that web is being underutilized. When I render this game, I'm rendering it with, you ready? Is everyone ready? No WebGL, no WebGPU, no canvas. I have turned off hardware acceleration via Chrome flags. It is DOM, pure DOM. Check out the viewport. I'll even just zoom in. Okay, it's just viewport with div elements. The game here, this is multiplayer, so let me go over to single player. Let me just load it up and I'll show you how it runs, right? So you can see it. So here, let me kick this off. Let me zoom in here. So here you go. Okay. Yeah, I recently broke it doing multiplayer stuff, but yeah, right? It runs fine. It's all good. And you can do things like, okay, it's all DOM elements. Everything you see here is all DOM elements. That's it. The only time that I turn on hardware acceleration, are you ready? Are you guys ready? Here, what I'll do is I'll do this. Okay. Now, do you know what this runs on? Do you guys know how I'm doing this 3D? Can anybody guess how I'm doing the 3D? Just take a guess. How am I doing 3D? Any guesses? CSS. Yeah. Baby Yoda got it. Baby Yoda, you get a VIP. There you go. Baby Yoda got a VIP. By the way, thank you for the follows. I'm literally doing CSS. That's the only time that hardware acceleration is triggered. So this is vanilla CSS 3D. As the game is played and we do our animations and so on. That's it. And you can see, does this seem slow to any of you? Like, does this seem like, you know, you're constantly being told that this isn't even possible without a framework like React. Guess how I'm doing it? Vanilla. Vanilla JavaScript, vanilla CSS, vanilla HTML. That's it. There is no library, there is no framework. It's all here. Now, we're not even done. I have a server. Okay, so now what happens is I have a server here, which I'm converting to C, but I'm running in Bun right now for a very specific reason. Well, one, it's a little bit faster. But just to add, we're not even done, boys. Let's just go up here. Remember how I said that my C game is a header-only library file? You see this bun server.c? I just include the exact same C code as my compiled WASM. Now what I can do is in Bun, I use tinycc to compile it directly on my WebSocket server. I open up my Bun server and it accesses exactly the same functions as I have on my WebAssembly or in my C code. It's all the same code. It's literally all the same memory. It's all the same code. It's all the same functions. My server can now run as a headless game state authoritative server. Then what I do is I listen to reactions from multiplayer players. So like here, right? And as a battle is taking place, I receive input from, like, for example here. So if I need to do like, end the turn maybe, and so, you know, things are, oops. Yeah, I can do whatever I want, and I send all this data up to the Bun server, which is then receiving the data and just executing the C functions that you would execute on your local single player game. We're not done. We're not done. Once we update the game state on the server, we send game state back to all the players. I have a lot of values here. Let's see if I can find a game state WebSocket message here. Where is it? Here, game state. So this is what we receive back, right? And so the game state from the server literally tells you, here's the state from the server, update your local client. And guess what? Because everything is the exact same code base from WebAssembly to JavaScript to the server, it is extremely simple. All you have to do is take the data that the server is telling you that you need to update as part of your local client and execute the exact right functions, and you now have your local client synchronized with the server. And the only thing that the server has to do is listen for appropriate functions or appropriate actions. So here, we just store a list of players, and whenever we receive an appropriate WebSocket message, like validating your key, joining the game, which by the way, you can join the game, you just join the Discord and you ask one of the mods for a key and they'll give you a key and you get like a URL and whatever. We can go through that in a minute because I have a Discord bot running, but it's all there. Then you can play the game and the server just synchronizes your game state. We're not even done. Just for the funsies. There's my Discord, and here's my YouTube as well. Hang on, like that. So you guys can check out on the Twitch side, Discord and YouTube. You're welcome to join. Just for the funsies, just because I thought, you know, whatever. And I'm a web dev, and I really like HTMX. HTMX is one of the few libraries I feel that actually encourages you as a programmer to have a better understanding of what you're doing. It abstracts away just enough where anytime that you're using HTMX, you're going, why the heck am I doing this? You have to understand the fundamental like hypermedia system, the way that the connectivity is being made whenever you submit that URL in your browser and what data you're getting back from a server and so on. It is a very bare bones, lightweight, over top system to get you to think about what's going on under the hood. And so I thought, just for fun, why not HTMX the multiplayer stuff? So in the exact same server as I run my game state, I generate some HTML. For example, you can see like the HTML for like players, admin, chat, etc. gets sent back as HTMX, as an HTML content. And on the client, I have an HTMX WebSocket element, and it literally just attaches itself to the server WebSocket. And anytime that it reads an HTMX message, it will do a swap. So you get a little bit of reactivity, but with HTMX, just because I just wanted to prove that we could do it. So all the stuff that you're seeing here, like this administrative stuff, trash talk, right? All this stuff, all the chat, that's all HTMX. This is all HTMX powered. Just to prove that we could do it. And it's fast. And it's not as hard as everybody would have you believe. Okay? So the entire point of, oh, and then one last thing. Sorry, one last thing. Okay? You ready for this? One last thing. Not only is our server, I've already started doing the server in C so that I can take away JavaScript, because I want everything to be as low level as possible. So I already have a C HTTP server, which I'm going to convert to a WebSocket server to replace all the bun stuff. Then I don't even have to do a tiny CC compilation step. I just include the header library and away we go. I have a Discord bot. The Discord bot allows you to receive a special role in our Discord. And the special role gives you access to 2 slash commands. One of them is /poo, which is just tells you, it just returns this. Okay, that's all the bot does. The other one gives you a special key, a URL. And if I had the server running, I don't even think I have it running. Let me just see. Doesn't look like it. I'll get the server running in case anybody is ending up joining it. You can try it out. But it'll give you an ephemeral, like an ephemeral message in the Discord bot, and server.js, and let me run the Discord bot too. One sec. Hang on. I'm almost there. Discord. Okay, I've got the Discord bot running and I've got the server running. So if Dale on the Discord side gives you the right role and whatever, you can join and play the game multiplayer. Okay, and I'll try and keep this thing running. Just beware, we were working on it before you guys raided, so there might be bugs. Okay, so listen. So I have this, right? I'm going to be converting this to C as well, because this is all just HTTP endpoints. There's nothing fancy about this. We don't need to have all of this stuff. I'm going to be replacing SQLite with just a plain old memory-based database. I don't need to have SQLite here. All of these abstractions are just that. They are abstractions. People reach for them. Why do I need SQLite when all I need to have is essentially just like a memory block that I can just dump into a binary file, which I've already done, by the way. Let me see here. I have a C file for the Discord bot. I just need to finish it. It's just a memory block of players with scores, etc., etc. This is not that difficult. Okay, so in order to get this to work, it really doesn't take that much, and I'm going to take away all of the dependencies that I have. The last thing. The file to run the single player version of the game is just one HTML file. That's it. How am I doing that? I am literally embedding the base 64 encoded version of my WASM and the base 64 encoded version of my Atlas file, which is all my assets here. I'm embedding it directly into the HTML file using C. So when I run my compile step, I also compile and run the embed. And the embed embeds it into a single HTML file. Guess what that means? My hosting costs are so easy, bros, because all I have to do is a GitHub statically hosted web page that runs the entire game, and you can play the game like this in single player mode. Or if you do the Discord path, it'll give you a special link, and that will enable multiplayer mode. And so it'll be like is multiplayer whatever with the host and all that stuff, right? And that connects to the server. All statically hosted. Or if I really wanted to, I could take the HTML file, put it on a USB stick, give it to someone, ship it over the internet. What I'm gonna do is, I don't think you can see it, but behind me, let's see if I can figure this out proper. Yeah, the camera's a little crooked, but right here, I've got a 3D printer. So for like $5 or something, I'll 3D print you a custom cover of the game and ship you a USB stick. It'll be some kind of like 3D printed USB version of the game, and it's just one file, and that's it. And you can have the entire game as one file. And all of this, the entire point is to prove that the tech industry, I'm sorry, I'm way behind on chat. How large is the file? Right now it's about 4 megs. The entire industry is in a terrible, terrible place where programmers and managers and executives alike all seem quite happy and content to ship you slop, to ship you libraries and abstractions and frameworks and set up guardrails in order to cater to the lowest common denominator of programmers. The problem is that I think there are many more programmers who are smarter than they think they are, but they're being neutered by an implicit statement of you're too stupid to understand what's going on. Use XYZ and you're going to be just fine. And I'm a high school dropout, self-taught, dum-dum over here, doing all of this to prove that that's not the case. It doesn't have to be that way. And you don't have to take it from the super intelligent people who are far more intelligent than me, like Jonathan Blow or Casey Moratori. Okay, someone like me can sit down and struggle their way through this. That means that we can do a lot more. There is one other thing that I've been doing on the stream. Have you officially reached insanity? Yes. There is one other thing I've been doing on the stream. If you go over to my YouTube. Okay, so over here I have some lives. They're on my lives, and I have to structure these better. But if you look at some of my unhinged rants, for example, I responded. No, not the response one. There's a few here, like some of these from like 4 months ago, for example. I literally go over scientific articles. So it's not just me sitting here doing this project in order to prove that the industry needs to be better, because we can be better. I actually go over scientific data. Let's see if this is one. Let me open this up. Yeah. So we go over articles, but it as like a contextualization, and you can see people are chatting and whatnot. But I actually pull up scientific articles, like academic articles that go over data. Like one of the most recent ones we went through was how TypeScript doesn't actually reduce the number of bugs. I don't think it was in this one, but it was in a previous one. So there was an actual scientific study done on thousands of TypeScript open source repos on GitHub that showed that you get about the same number of bugs on TypeScript as you do in vanilla JavaScript. And what's worse is that TypeScript increases the time it takes for you to fix a bug by 2 days, as opposed to vanilla JavaScript. We go over cybersecurity issues. Can anybody tell me? I love pulling this out of my hat. Take the consequences of cybersecurity issues. Like imagine that there's an exploit and then somebody uses the exploit and then it causes damage to like the world in general. What do you think the dollar value, the estimated dollar value is of damages as a result of cybersecurity issues? Can anybody take a guess? Just any dollar value. The consequences. €5, yeah. 1 Hong Kong dollar, yeah. 350. Worldwide. Yeah, worldwide. Just globally. A few hundred billion. Okay. Yeah. A jillion, multi-million. Yeah. Yeah. So we went over a scientific study. We went over cybersecurity issues. We went over case studies, 100 rupees, 1,000 rupees, yeah, a few trees, yeah. In 2023, it's estimated, and it can only be estimated, it's at $7 trillion. That's the estimate. That was in 2023. It is the third largest economy in the world, next to US and China. And the only reason why it can only be estimated and not defined is, how do you put a price on something like human lives? For example, there was one cybersecurity vulnerability we discussed in 2022 where it took down the 911 centers in 1 or 2 entire states in the US. It took down emergency power in emergency operating rooms in some hospitals in one state in the US. You can't actually put a price on that stuff. So the best you can do is estimate. Do you want to know what one of the biggest causes of cybersecurity issue is? Aside from, I think there's an easy one you can pick out. But there's usually 2. It's usually backed by 2. It's usually like memory safety. The other thing, like NPM repos, third-party dependencies, where nobody checks what's going on. You just NPM install whatever, React, okay, or things like React, like Vue and Svelte and Next and all of these things, even in Rust with crates. You're just pulling in whatever you want to pull in, and you have no idea like what these things contain. And we've actually gone over scientific studies on what some of these things contain, how they're structured, etc. I love showing this graph because people come to me and say, what are you talking about? Whenever I say this on X or, even on stream or whatever, people go, there's so many people who go, yeah, but React worked great for my team. And my team was like 100 people and we made a bunch of money, and programming's never been easier. Programming's never been better, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. I just want you to have a look at this graph. 2000, 2010, 2015, 2020. I mean, this looks like what Bitcoin's doing, right? This is crazy. How many fewer people would have been without React? Yeah. What happened around 2016? Yeah. What do you think happened around 2016, Bogan? Yeah. More software being produced is true, but that's not the actual problem. The problem is how is more software being produced? That's the actual problem. The actual problem is you're producing more software with slop. So the more you produce slop with slop, the more this is going to increase. It's not that things are being produced more, it's how they are being produced. That's the problem. So this stream isn't just about building a game in like a high school dropout GigaChad fashion. It is also about me ranting about these things, doing like multi-hour unhinged rants on all of this stuff, which you can find on my YouTube lives. You can go back and I'm going to go back and slice them up and structure them in like an actual like format. but I go over the actual science so that there's actual data to talk about, to talk about these topics. The primary thing that I want to try and get across is that as programmers, there is a lot more that we can do, and unfortunately, we have to be able to articulate these topics, and that's part of why I'm doing what I'm doing. If you have some of the data, and if you have some of the actual work being done, and you can talk about like, oh, here's an alternative way that someone did it, whatever, you can go and talk to people around you and say, no, I think this is stupid. We need to do it differently, and here's why I think that. At the very least, I'm hoping that it gives some ammunition to the entire argument. And if you care about money, if you're someone who cares about money, then it should actually matter to you to write better software, because I have scientifically proven that more resilient software with fewer bugs and more performance, and we're talking like sub 100 millisecond performance even on web, can sometimes increase your income by like 3 to 5-fold. So if you're talking to someone who's like an executive force and all they care about is money, they don't care about your tech, I have gone over science to prove that being particular about performance and caring about your code means more money. It might only mean it in the long run, but it means more money. What people do is they think too short-sighted, and they go, I want my money now. And so then they build this thing. This is what they build. I've been showing this for I don't know how many months, and nobody's patched it, nobody's fixed it. It's just standard. So anyways, that's it. That's my like 15-minute overview. Thanks for the raid of, I don't even know how many people came in. It was like over 200. Thanks to all the people who stuck around hearing me out. Thank you for all the follows. Goodnight Gamer, Code Matters, Uniper, Zoidoid, Titus, Mike, Chosen, Simpy, Baby Yoda, Young Man, Appreciado, Mr. Panda Pie. Thank you. 263 viewers. There you go. And thanks to Jonathan Blow. I appreciate the raid. Jonathan Blow is he's one of the real ones. He's an OG. Yeah. Hang on. Let me catch up on chat here. You guys are so much chat. Money-oriented programming, yeah. Execs really think that long-term or big picture. Right. So more bugs, yes, I agree that execs don't normally think that long-term. But if you had data and the ability to articulate it just a little bit better than yeah, but if we do this, it's better. If you could say something like, yes, but it's been proven that if you do this, it can lead to more money. And you can kind of reframe it based on data that we've gone through on one of my rant videos, that at least gives you more of a chance to help somebody see that there's a better way to tackle these problems in software, right? People are sheep, they use whatever other sheep are using. Yes, yeah. Right. So the point is like to be able to, the point of what I'm doing is to be able to point to either the data I'm presenting, the arguments I'm laying out, because I try and lay out like logical arguments based on the actual like logical structure, like the kind of like the laws of logic essentially, and demonstrate it, right? So like here's one that I like to do. This is one that I did. I do this on stream a lot. Some people like to complain about, let's see, what's a good one? Laugh could probably come up with a good one, but okay. Structs versus flat arrays. If I have a flat array of U32 values or a struct of U32 values, which do you think is better? Yeah, we still have it. We literally went into Godbolt and looked at it. So one of the things that people like to do is say, yeah, but React makes it's alignment, yes, but if you're doing U32s, if you're keeping consistent, that's why I said U32s, right? Because then alignment is less of an issue. It kind of depends on the compiler at that point. But people like to say things like, yeah, but it's not as readable. I like types because types gives me safety. I like Rust because Rust gives me memory safety. And so I'll try and make a logical argument, something along the lines of, can you have memory safety with C? Right? That was one of the things we went over too. I can't remember where the heck the Rust website. Right? We went over Rust, and it was like right here. Rust's rich type system and ownership model guarantee memory safety and thread safety, right? And so we'll talk about these things like why does a struct matter over a flat array? A lot of times people will make an argument based on preference. It's my preference that I have an autocomplete. It's my preference that I read a struct easier. It's my preference that I have a build system that does my CSS for me, like Tailwind, instead of writing my own CSS. It's my preference that I use a virtual DOM with React versus managing my own DOM. It's my preference that I go, use whatever this thing is, because my preference is that this is easier for me, or they internalize the argument where they go, it's worked for me, therefore it's good. But these are not logical claims. There is an objective reality. And the objective reality is that when you add abstractions, or that when you compare structs versus flat arrays, or when you look at whether how Rust does its memory safety versus how you would do memory safety in C, etc., the objective claims are not argued. Very few people argue for them. That's why Casey Muratori is really good about this, because he'll make an actual objective argument. And he just completely avoids the subjectivity of it all. Right. And this is the point. This is the one of the primary ways that I think programmers need to think about what they're doing, because your preference is at best neutral to whatever is happening with actually under the hood, if you understand it. And at worst, it makes things much, much worse, because preferences are often in the form of abstractions. And abstractions mean that A, you don't understand what's actually going on, and B, those abstractions add more cycles and processes to whatever it is you're doing. So that is an example of the kind of logical arguments that I try and make here. We have gone way too much on the preference side. I feel good shipping really fast in React sites that used to be complicated in jQuery X number of years ago. It makes me feel good. It's a subjective preference. But at what cost? At what cost? Okay. Union of both. Yeah, you could do a union. Yeah. How many of those memory safe Rust programs are actually limited by the CPU speed? Zangri, that's a good question. Actually, I might look that up. I might try and do a study on what that is. MedStart, completely avoiding the subjective side is also not correct. No, you don't. Okay. I hope I was clear when I said we've leaned too much on the subjective side. My argument isn't that we shouldn't have subjective preferences, or that it doesn't matter whether programmers can work faster, because if that were my argument, then I would be encouraging everyone to write assembly or punch cards with the old drums. That's not the actual argument. The argument is that we've gone too far into the subjective world, and that we have completely forgotten the objective nature of what we're doing in complete favor of subjective things. And it's gone too far. When those abstractions fail, you still have to learn how the lower layers work. Yes. So I have been in rooms doing this for 25 years. I have been in rooms full of at least 5 or 6 React developers. When React couldn't achieve something, it hits some kind of wall, and the React developers don't know how to work around it because they don't understand the JavaScript, the vanilla JavaScript that's powering React. That's happened to me twice. And then myself and one or two other, I think it was two other team leads on both occasions, had to reach into the vanilla JavaScript because we were the only ones who knew vanilla JavaScript in order to figure out what was going on that React couldn't do. You would be surprised how many React developers do not know how to write HTML. What programming language should I choose for programming missiles? Yeah. React is fine if you have good internet. Right. That's the other thing that I have proven through scientific studies. Large portions of the earth do not have access to the same hardware and internet speeds that we are used to here in the West. There's at least 2, maybe 3 case studies that I have on my notepad of links where a site was redone for performance, and one of them removed React completely and went vanilla. I'll have to pull that one up on another stream. And as a result, they noticed an increase in traffic from other parts of the world, like, oh, I don't know, Africa. And as a result of that, more revenue, because those people would purchase stuff. So if you care about money, yeah, you're going to care about that. Hardware's gotten too fast. Yeah. Gives us reverse engineers a job. Yeah. Unreal Engine disagrees. Oh man, we have gone over Unreal Engine. It's so stupid. Was there an implication earlier that typed languages are worse rather than better? Not necessarily typed languages, just that the study that we went over showed that TypeScript does not save you. Overall, it does not reduce the number of bugs that you would normally have in vanilla JavaScript. As a matter of fact, what it showed was if you use the word any, which by the way is like the most, what would you call it? It's the most ironic word in TypeScript. TypeScript is a typed system. Why do you, if you have the word any, then you're no longer typed, are you? But literally the more you use the word any, the more bugs you create. Regardless of bugs, when compared to the time it takes to resolve a bug in TypeScript versus vanilla JavaScript, TypeScript increases the time it takes to resolve a bug by 2 days on average. It's easy to build stuff nowadays without understanding what's going on. That's exactly right. And that makes it really appealing to, say, executives who need to hire a programming team, and they go hire people straight out of school and they plop them in front of React or something like that, and they can just ship out whatever it is that they ship out. They can create features and they can create a UI and all of that, and they don't really have to understand how. They just have to follow a checklist, and you can pay them for cheap to do it, right? But again, at what cost? Nobody wants to release a game with those EULAs. Yeah. I hate when people abuse any. Yes. Because of any? Yeah. No, it's not because of any. Because it was 2 separate things. Yeah, Corpus? So on the one hand, you have, if you just do bug to bug count, TypeScript doesn't reduce the number of bugs in vanilla JavaScript. As a matter of fact, TypeScript increases the number of bugs the more you use the word any. That was what the scientific data showed compared to vanilla JavaScript. Stop. Then separately, regardless of number of bugs or how they got there, how long does it take to fix a bug in TypeScript versus how long does it take to fix a bug in vanilla JavaScript? TypeScript takes 2 days longer to fix a bug on average. Second, say I'm one of those trash level developers. I want to become smarter though. So this is the point, right? This is why I say I got on and I talked with Eric Weinstein on X. I was on one of his lives. I have it again on my YouTube, I think, or maybe on my X. And I talked to him about the H-1B visa thing, because the H-1B visa thing was a lot of people felt it was like a slap to their face, programmers in particular. Because there's an implied message. So like when your favorite tech influencer, okay, or a big company, or somebody who has an air of authority or gravitas, if you will, tells you that you need to use a framework like React, Vue, Svelte, Rust, whatever it is, an abstraction, because it's the easiest way to accomplish something. What they're telling you, really, without telling you, is the following. You are too stupid. You must use this thing or you won't know, which is exactly what you were saying second, right? The H-1B visa thing is a slap to the face, because then people like Elon and Vivek and so on come out and they go, we can't find talent. And a bunch of talented people are sitting there without jobs right now going, what are you talking about? I'm right here. The entire industry, from hiring practices to what you do when you get into a job to how you're being taught to do your job, they are all telling you across the board, you are stupid. And it's not true. Because if that was true, then high school dropout here, who, by the way, is pretty stupid, okay, would not be able to do the really cool stuff that I think I've done so far with help from people in chat on Twitch. You can do a lot more. That's the point. But you're being told that you can't. And you're not just being told that you can't, but you're being set up to be in situations where you can't. So the entire system is broken. And so, of course, second, you would feel that way. It is no shock to me that you feel that way. So it's actually not a matter of you want to become smarter. It's that you just need to learn and just stop being afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. All this stuff that I'm doing in C, it's really not difficult. C is a very simple language to understand. Just stick with it for a while. Use simple things. I'm just using flat arrays. It's just a flat array. That's it. Just this, it's just a flat array. And then I just offset into the array value. And then all I do is I use an enum and I just enum in. I enum into my array. It's so simple. Anybody can do it. Literally anybody can do it. Just go and do it and try it out. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. It really isn't. I have a friend that was, thank you for the follow second. I have a friend that was learning software in a third world country. They literally did like a month on JS, HTML, CSS. They started teaching React right away. They didn't even teach him to write a website yeah. It's crazy. Meanwhile, thank you, Baker, for the follow just now. Meanwhile, we're over here just raw dogging vanilla HTML, vanilla CSS, vanilla JavaScript, and just spitting out a background image on div elements and then just background positioning them. That's it. Thanks Quack for the follow. It's just a background image. Yes, Quack. My wife's like, Quack. She likes ducks. It's just a background image of the entire atlas, and then we background position it. This stuff is not hard. This isn't hard stuff, but you're being told that it is hard without insert stupid thing here. I had a problem with a client that had a 2 gig RAM machine that simply explodes the Ruby backend because of insane RAM usage to do something that it could just one shot in 10 ms if it would be allowed to use C. Yeah. Baker, thank you for the 5 subs, man. I appreciate that. That completely unnecessary, but thank you. I really do appreciate that. Industry is corrupt. People are. It's people. And the problem is that a lot of tech influencers don't tell you these things because they like status quo. Pick closure script, yeah. I learn when I can forget. Yeah, you learn to forget. Most of the challenge with C is using the OS libraries. So yeah, right. So most of the challenge with C, Quack is right. Most of the challenge is OS libraries like sockets. However, even that is not as hard as you would think. I've got, where the heck is my server? I've got it here. I built an HTTP server. You just have to know the handshake. You can pass JSON data around, and this is all in C. It's not that bad. It really isn't. If you avoid the system level stuff, you can do quite a bit with just plain old like flat array, flat memory structures. It's really, really simple. I feel on that. I like taking the simple approach. Yeah, take the simple approach and keep it simple, and you can accomplish quite a bit. Again, Baker, thank you for the 5 subs, man. Thank you. But doing TLS handshake from scratch, doing a TLS handshake from scratch, yeah. Now we're talking about more complicated stuff. But hopefully, if you have worked your way up to that point, it will at least be far more approachable than if you didn't do anything, or you just pulled the library off the shelf and went for it, right? You must hate your eyes. I love my eyes. That's why I have this. I can't do the colors. When I see colors, that's all I see. I just see the colors. I don't see the words. I don't see, I don't see this. I don't see anything. I just see colors. Cannot find your article, but found this, and this one is not so bad at all in regards to DS bug fixing. I'll find the article again. I have it on a list of notes. I'll find it, and maybe I'll post it on my Discord. Yeah, if you want to, you can join Discord, and I'm on there all the time, and you can ask me for any articles or any links to videos, and I will track it down for you, so you don't have to go hunt it down yourself. I'll track down the videos and the articles for you, and I'll get you the right studies and all that. Oh, you know what? If you like my color schemes, let's do that for a while. Incentive system is misaligned. Not much to be done, but better oneself and inspire others as well. I think we can do a lot more. I actually think we can do more. More bugs. So why you guys don't like hot dog color? But it's got mustard and ketchup. Look, you guys don't like it? The reason why I say we can do more is here's an example, okay? Do you guys know where we got? Here, I'll zoom in. Do you guys know where we got this from? Let me maybe just zoom out a little here. That. Do you know where we got that from? Document query selector all. Thank you, Baker. It was jQuery. That's right. jQuery as a library was kind of a complaint. Here I'm gonna VIP Baker because he gifted five subs and then dropped an answer. So jQuery as a library was like a complaint by programmers, like, hey, it is extremely complicated or like really annoying to do simple selection of DOM elements. So jQuery comes around and it provides you with that whole $ thing, right? So you'd go like all, and then it would do, whatever, right? You'd put in your selector. And then browser standards moved forward and went, oh, you know what? We should listen to what jQuery is doing, what programmers are saying is annoying, and we'll implement query selector. Thanks, Baker. I appreciate it, man. And that is one example of many where programmers as a whole, when they can present a problem and a solution and articulate it, this one was technical, but it works on the business level as well. You can change minds. You can push standards forward. You can convince executives that there are better ways to do particular things. You can make more money doing it. You can produce things faster, whatever the case is, right? Like across the board. The problem right now is that we don't have enough programmers who even understand what the problems are to be able to talk about them in the first place. So hopefully, by doing what I do and going over the science, going over the data, and building this game that I've wanted to build since I was a kid, the discussions happen naturally, and programmers are better equipped to talk about things that they normally wouldn't be able to talk about. CodeMat, we need to start our own country? Sure. Sure. In our cybersecurity, well, it'll be the third largest economy in the world because of all our cybersecurity issues, right? It'll be the greatest. It'll be the greatest country ever. Everyone says it's a great country. I can't do it. I can't do the Trump thing. Hey, Justin on YouTube. Thanks for popping in. So to that end, okay, to that end, since I have a lot of viewers right now, I am going to shamelessly shill myself, okay? If you like what I'm saying and you want me to say more of it to more people, and you want me to go and fight these degenerate programmer scumbags who write front-end trash and back-end trash and video game trash, and actually argue with these people and try and present these arguments better and all of that. Like my stuff, share it, subscribe, whatever you can do, and I'll keep doing it. Normally I don't like saying it because it feels icky. It's not what I'm about. I'm not about to follow me and hit the notification bell and stuff. But I don't often get viewership like this, so I'm taking advantage and shamelessly going for it. If you like what I'm saying and you want me to do more of it and you want to expand the reach so I can tell other people about this, then definitely support me. Can you explain the array versus struct thing? Yeah, so the array versus struct thing, we had it here in Godbolt. And what we did was we looked at what happens when you have an array, right? A flat array, like what I have in my game. And what happens when you have like a struct of values. So let me do this. So this is exactly what I'm doing in my game. I have an enumeration which offsets into the array. So I can go, let's just do 0, offset 0, okay? Actually, I don't need that. I can just do ID times 3. That's perfectly fine. So I can even do this. Watch. TA data size, which is what I do. So data size is an immediate, like the data, this will represent 4. And so I know that the size of my array will always be 4. So I could even do like, TA data size times 10, and I would have like, 30 of these or whatever it is, right? Anyways, okay, so let's go back. Let's keep it simple. So I use my enumeration and I essentially go into literally copying what I do in the game. So we can look at the underlying assembly code and see if the assembly code is doing anything that's different than accessing the same values in a struct. And the arithmetic pointers are essentially the same thing. It's just that one goes into negative space and like more definitively, and one goes into negative space through an arithmetic operation. But even the struct will sometimes do an arithmetic operation, right? So it's really, really simple. The arithmetic operation is more defined up here because we're literally doing like offset +1 or ID times 3, whatever it is, right? Like here, yeah. Right. So in terms of the actual underlying assembly code, it's always arithmetic pointers into a block of memory. Whether I do it my way, which is just a flat array with an enumeration for offsets, or a struct. So what this comes down to is, as long as my struct members are the exact same type, int, u32, 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 and I don't mix and match with like an int and a string or whatever, then my alignment and my padding and all of that stay the same as an array, and my assembly arithmetic pointers into my data is all the same as well. So any arguments that people might have when they initially see, why are you doing enums and array data and flat arrays? Why don't you just use structs? Is because, well, that's a subjective preference. If I kept my structs exactly the way that I needed them to be and all flat, all one type of value, then it's just readability versus readability. That's all it is. Right. So these are things that we go over and we argue about ad nauseum on stream. I mean, we've talked about, I can't even remember some of the discussions we've had with chat, but people will sometimes jump on Discord too. If anybody wants to jump on Discord and argue with me about something, happy to have an argument. I interview people here, like I interviewed Carson Gross from HTMX. We try and present all the arguments for why software sucks and why it needs to get better and how. Yeah, we spent a whole stream debating this. I think it was a multi-hour stream debating whether offsetting into arrays was more performant than setting up a struct of arrays. And it's like, nope, it's all the same arithmetic pointers. It's all the same. It's just readability versus non-readability, and that's subjective because somebody could find a struct readable and somebody could find an array readable, and they might never agree. So then who's right? There's an objective measurement that can be taken there. The great battle of flat arrays. I can't even remember some of the other battles we've had, but yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. Okay, if anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask. I missed a whole bunch of chat. Sorry for missing all that chat. There was like a whole bunch of chat in the initial raid. I appreciate again, thanks to Jonathan Blow. I appreciate it. He's a legend. The last thing I was ever expecting was to get a raid from Jonathan Blow. Yeah. Yeah, I missed a whole bunch of chat. Okay. So the other nice thing about doing this is that I can take this exact same C code and I can render it in like a desktop. Like I could pop this into Odin or use SDL or use Vulkan or whatever. It's just one header library and I just include it and then pull in whatever library I want, or I can compile it and dynamically link it, or statically link it, I mean. I have a lot of options with this, so it's cool to have the ability to be versatile with my C code this way. Well, now I have completely forgotten what I was working on, so I'm going to try and figure out what the heck I was working on. And yeah, you guys are welcome. I'll keep an eye on chat. You guys are welcome to interrupt my flow. I'll keep going for a while. I see a few people joined on Discord. Thanks for joining. Okay. I know that all my server stuff. You learn, yeah, no problem, Code. Anytime. Happy to go over it. I'm glad I caught that. I was so focused, I almost missed the raid. Okay. I know that the server code was running correctly up to a certain point, and I was going to fix something. We fixed the blocking mechanism. We have the chat. Wait till you guys see the hats. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay. So here we go. Hats. We fixed the blocking mechanism. We had some administrative functions working, chat was working. I think it was down to what was it? What was my problem? I honestly don't remember. That's what a J blow raid would do. It'll throw you off your game. Fireball. Three, two, one. Oh, you know what? I think I remember now. I think it was positioning. It was points. Yeah. You were checking that the map scrolling was working last time you paid attention. The map scrolling is fine. The camera, the random world generation placement is fine. Map scrolling is fine. I remember now. I just wanted to see if destroying a ship increased your score count. I just wanted to like make sure. Somehow I've landed on player 0. Which shouldn't exist. Let's try this again. It's yet another thing I'm going to have to fix. Okay. 2. I just want to end the turn. Can I just end the turn? Okay. Can I let me just go up here. Okay, so the thing attacks me. Okay, but so the camera centering works. That's good. The Kraken moved. Let me fire. Okay, this will tell us if we do this right. Are you into SMW ROM hacks? What is SMW ROM hacks? Oh, Super Mario World. Oh, I haven't really done it. It would be fun to do, but I haven't done it. Okay, let's see if this works. The ships should be destroyed. Did it increase my score count? I think it did, because I think I was at 20. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that number is max U32 minus 1, so probably not. It probably didn't work. I can try one more time just to be sure. Okay, so it's 30. So countdown begins. Yeah, confirm the battle. Move. Okay, end the turn. End the turn. Stuck on player 0. I'm going to have to fix that too. I don't know why I'm getting into player 0. I shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a thing. It's probably some stupid bug. Probably because I'm a high school dropout. I've seen one guy optimize the living hell out of Mario 64. Yeah, there's a YouTube video. Damn it. Player 0 again. Player 0 is going to be the end of me. It's the ghost player. The player that never existed. Okay. Nope. It's not going to do it. Okay, then the NPC moves. Oh, man. Okay, so I have to fix the score. The turn order is messed up. Yeah, I broke it. I broke it with my recent updates. Thankfully, I didn't deploy those. Yeah, I have to fix the turn order. Otherwise debugging this stuff's going to take forever. Yeah, player 0 is, yeah, he was targeting 60 FPS and he basically made it. Player 0 is a non-existent player. It shouldn't exist, Laugh. It shouldn't exist. Player 0 is not a real player. It should always be player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a max of 5 players. And I don't know why it says player 0. It actually technically shouldn't even be a string that I can render on the renderer. I don't think I have a player 0. Like check it out. If I go create string player ones. Yeah, there's no player 0 at all. None. So player 0 is a weird, I got into a weird place. Fixing arrays, yeah. 0 index the players. I am 0 indexing the players. It's not, it's just a string, if that makes sense.
Is not recognized.
My TV apparently doesn't recognize me. That was weird. This is player 1 is technically 0 index. This is a string that shouldn't even exist. It shouldn't even exist. So I don't even know how it's getting this string. To be perfectly frank with you, I have no idea how I'm getting into this state. It's a very weird state to be in. Do you just parse out the string? Yeah, so what I do is I create it. So here's what the create string function does. Usually what you do is you'd use mscriptim or something like that, and it does glue bindings between WebAssembly and your JavaScript so that you can do things like string manipulation, like reading strings or adding strings or like arrays and stuff like that. I do it all myself, mostly because mscriptim has a bunch of glue that I don't need. I just read into the raw memory, either through functions or raw memory. The only thing that I have glue for is the string stuff. So let me get to the JavaScript side in a second. What create string does, I think it's U32. Yes. So it takes in your like the two strings. There's a machine name and then the actual string, and it stores it into a string array, and it does it as like as raw data. So there's literally I'm not using the standard library, so I had to write my own string copy function here. Yeah, so I had to write my own string copy function into a raw memory space. Then on the JavaScript side, let me find it here. Not the CSS. So right about here, I guess. Hang on. Read string from WASM right here. So I tell it where the memory lives, and so because it's an array, I can take a pointer which is converted to a U32 value, which points to the exact place in WebAssembly memory that the string begins in that flat array, and then the length of the string, and then I use a text decoder, and then I get my string out of that, and that's it. I don't even put strings into WebAssembly, because in order to do that, I have the function to do it. I can do it. Set input string. I can put in strings into WebAssembly, but I try very hard to avoid it. You see, I have a uint data array, and I set the memory, but I try to avoid it because it gets really weird and annoying to do that. I hate it, and I don't really need it. All my strings should live inside my game. I can even have a binary file of strings, and then I can import like a localized version of that. So all my create string functions get removed, and it's just an import a file of binary U8 data, and convert it to chars with lengths, and that's it. And then I can have localized strings. Get your regexes down, then you can find even after you compile. I could. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it's not that bad. But I'm trying to keep it simple. I'm trying to like avoid having to do these things. So you know, I might end up doing that. I'm not sure. The programs I wrote, I had to have them update that way. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that having to be a requirement in order to accomplish certain things the way that the data is structured here, at least. You know, regex is one thing ChatGPT is useful for. Yeah. I'll learn my own regex. Listen, if I can do my own C and my own vanilla everything, I think I can learn my own regex. I don't need ChatGPT. Okay, don't use AI slop. It's just another abstraction. Okay, don't do that. Don't be a code cuck. Okay, don't let someone else write your code for you. Don't be a code cuck, okay? You don't just sit in the corner and watch as someone else does your code. Code you should be doing. Got this, I have faith in you. Thanks, code. Regex P is the simplest thing. Thanks, Adaraz. Yeah. More bugs. Thanks for the follow. Why do people still think regex is hard? It's not that bad, right? It's not that bad. You don't know how much time I've already put into this. The industries are a joke, and you know it. Yeah, the industries are a joke, and I do know it. I 100% believe you, code. 100%. I believe you. Yeah, completely. It's really, really bad. I guess I'm gonna have to figure out player 0. I don't really have much of a choice. And it's got something to do with the increment of the turn order, because that I think that's what's going on. I have to figure this out. Focus on fun. Yeah. What else can you do but to keep your sanity? You have to try and find something fun and then stick to that. And what you're doing, super fun. I'll leave you to it. Thanks, code. I appreciate it. Don't worry about interrupting me. It's all good. I think my problem is that when I increment my turn order, I'm doing something weird here. I think that's my issue. And I'm trying to figure out how I would. Okay, what's an ocean battle turn order? That's what I need to know. The game could have been completed in 3 ChatGPT prompts max. If I had just used React, this game would have been done like middle of last year. It would have been the slowest game on the planet with the most slop. And you wouldn't be able to click on anything. And you'd get like ads every 2 seconds. And every once in a while, something that did work wouldn't work, and then your browser would crash from leaky memory. But it would be done middle of next year. Typical front end guy. I would have been swimming in VC cash. That's right. I'd be able to sell it to investors. Investors would eat it up. Absolutely. Yeah. Imagine how much I could charge for that. Yeah. Right? The best front end in the world. Yeah, I guess I should have just done that. What am I thinking, right? Think about all the money I could be swimming in right now. If I had just done this in the worst front end library I can possibly think of doing it. And it's not just React, okay? You have to do React with JSX, which means you're writing HTML. You're writing like HTML light over your HTML. Then you have to pull in a state framework. So like, I don't know, ZooStand or something, right? So then there's another library plus all the other interdependent libraries, and then Tailwind in order to do your CSS. And so there's another build tool chain. Then you've got your deployment pipeline in order to build and deploy all of these things. Then I need a server infrastructure. Now we're talking about, now I need microservices. And I need GraphQL. But it would have been done middle of last year. Yeah. And I could have had AI in it. It's all the user's fault for not loading stuff quickly enough. Some CEO, yes. You know what I think is going to happen? React 21. I'm going to look at this Ocean Battle turn order and see if I'm on the right track while I talk about this. React 21, I promise you. We're at React 19. React 21 is going to have AI integrated into it. I guarantee you. It will have integrated AI as part of the library. Ocean Battle turn order. 2,000. Jeez. Okay, what is my current Ocean Battle turn order value then? It's my index. Yeah, React 21 is going to have AI. You're gonna integrate you're gonna pop in the library. That's Ocean Battle data. And it's going to pop up like a little AI widget on the page, and then it's going to say like what kind of a thing do you want to create, and then you'll just type in a prompt, and then it'll just AI generate it, and then it'll just immediately not work. And then you have to ask AI how to fix it. But it'll cost you to ask that. That's how React will make money. React AI will generate React that doesn't work, front end React that doesn't work, and then you have to pay a price in order to ask AI to fix it. Ocean Battle turn order is here. Ocean Battle data. Ocean Battle data current turn index. Which offset is this? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go look at what this is. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my Ocean Battle turn order is 2. 0, 1, 2. How on earth did I end up on 0? On player 0? That doesn't make any sense. And as a matter of fact, these are all 0, and they actually shouldn't be 0. Yeah, this shouldn't be. The problem is 0 is an actual legitimate value. That's why I have my sentinel value, which I call sentry. It's not good. That's okay. That makes sense then. I guess I have to Ocean Battle turn, get Ocean Battle turn over value. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Clear Ocean Battle turn order. Am I even using that? I'm not. So there's a problem. I just leave all the values set to 0. I don't know if this will fix anything, but let's give it a shot. So we'll run the local server. We'll go back in here. Let me just like zoom out of all this stuff so we can see more of what's going on. And we'll go here and we'll join here. So we have 2 players and then the countdown begins. Okay, and then we play the game. Immediately end up in player 0's turn. How are you even getting this string? What is going on? Player 0's turn is not even a string. Guys, I think I accidentally created AI in my game, and it's creating strings that don't exist. Player take turn. Let's go over here. Yeah, we're creating a string. Ocean battle player's turn. That's how. All right. Okay, fair. Fair. We're formatting a string which has a placeholder. Okay, that's how it's happening. Yeah, I've had enough of your rebellious ideologies. Yeah, Terminator's coming to get me. I'm John Connor. I'm the real John Connor. And I'll be back. All right, well, somehow player ID +1 equals 0. That ain't right. So it is actually coming from the increment function. Yeah. Yeah, it's returning a century, and if it returns a century, yeah. Okay. So my recent updates have worked how we handle which player's turn it is. So I am getting the captain, which is the player ID, by going over to the fleet, which goes over to the ship, which goes over to the world NPC, which goes over to the current battle turn, which goes over to the ocean battle turn order, the turn index. So maybe what I need to do is, yeah, okay, so it's got to be one of these 2 things. It's either the ocean battle turn order, or somehow I am not setting captain to player correctly. In order to get a player ID, what could I do? What could I do? You know what? Let's see what we got here for data. We're gonna put a console log, and we're gonna figure this out. 0i, it's gonna be general ID, and the assumption here would be that try to get player ID from ocean battle turn order, and we'll put a D there and RX1. Okay, we're gonna see what our general ID looks like. I guess what I could do also is I want to see what the turn index is, so let me add another argument. I'll put it 2, and then that way we can just read into that. And just in case Let's put our fleet ID in here. Okay, we're going to build it, and we're going to get a warning because, of course, we're going to get a warning. And it's not going to compile because, of course, it's not. Too many function calls expected 3. Oh, uh-huh. 3. Yeah, it would help if you know what? Stay in school. Don't drop out of high school like I did. Math is important, okay? I regret all my decisions when I can't do simple math. Okay, here we're gonna rerun the server. I might be able to do vanilla C, but when it comes to like 1+1, apparently it's like that's the one that gets me. Okay, so the console log output would actually show up here. If I see the error message here, then okay, then I'll know what's up. So far so good. The Kraken is okay, so here we go. Anything? Anything? NPC takes an action. Current turn player ID is, yeah, it's a bad value because the NPC is running, so we expect that. This is also a bad value because the NPC, right, because the Kraken is doing whatever. So now what? Yeah, pure in shambles. We didn't trigger the error. That isn't a good thing. Maybe we'll just... Oh, man. Okay, how about this? We're just going to spit this out anytime that we get a player ID that is a sentinel value. It's going to be a lot of logs, but at least we'll get a sense of what's going on. Join. And and then the Kraken. Okay, here we go. We still didn't trigger it. Are you kidding me? It's over. I think I have to pack it up and go home. It's so the problem is not here. The problem is not here. Thanks, Pierre. Thanks for being here. We'll see you later. Have a good sleep. Well, then where the hell's the problem? Okay. I'm going to have to go where I know the problem is, which is when we generate the string, it's a bad string. I'm going to have to work my way back from there. That's going to be annoying. But I guess that's what we got to do. Player ID in scene state is... Okay, let's see. Jeez. Let's see what this gives us. Do this again. Refresh. Log in. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Kraken moves. Yeah. I'll move over here. Can I fire my cannon anywhere? Apparently not. I'll just end my turn then. Or no, maybe it's yeah, your turn. Okay. So I'll just move there, and then I'll end the turn, and then the Kraken will do something, I guess, or someone will. I'll just end my turn. Okay, camera's recentered. Looks good. So far. No player zero. Damn it. When you want the bug to happen because you put in logging. No, let's not do that. Okay, fine. Screw you. I hate that. The turn order is randomized, and the world is randomized, and it's all randomized. So there's no guarantee that I'm going to hit player zero unless I get the right random order of like player turn events. I'm just going to skip everything, end my turn. Are you seriously not? There we go. Player zero's turn. All right. Do you tell me? Tell me. Player ID in scene state. We're looking for that. Player ID in scene state. Where are you? Player ID in scene state. Where are you? Here we go. Player ID in scene state is 0. That's correct though. Technically speaking, that is the right value. That is actually the right value. Because 0 is the first player. So how are we generating a string that's player zero's turn? That makes no sense. We're gonna figure this out. I'm not stopping. Never stop stopping. Never stop debugging. Okay. We don't see any bro WTF. We do see player ID in scene state is 1. Let's go have a look at the, well, actually, I don't need to do it here. I can go just look at the messages right here. Game state. Hang on. So my data here looks correct. But I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5. Five captains. I have 2 players. No, wait. No, I don't think that's right. Um, it should be 4. Uh-oh. Did I copy paste wrong? Oh, watch, this is a copy paste issue. Guys, stay in school, okay? Stay in school. Don't drop out of high school like me, okay? Don't do it. Because you get simple math issues and stupid copy paste issues. I'm pretty sure this is a copy paste issue. Yeah, I was talking to my wife. Laugh. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, I have a fleet ID. Yeah, where am I setting my cat? Ship name ID, NPC ID. Cool. Player index. Yeah. Okay, ship ID. Create the world. Set the world NPC type, which is ship. Yep, that all looks good so far. Is it my Kraken? Is it my crack? One Kraken, please. Yeah, how come I have 5? Okay, world NPC ID, yeah. Set fleet general ID. No, this isn't it either. Add ship to fleet. No, it's not here. World NPC type. No, it's not here. No. Total ships in play. How am I getting that extra player? I've got Blackbeard, I've got Kraken, and I've got 2 players. That should be a total of 4. And yet, I'm somehow getting 5. Let me go have a look at, let's see, what would it be? How am I setting my captain to player value? Get set captain to player value. Let's have a look. I'm not even doing that. Oh, that's why. Okay, so that's actually legit. All 5 of my players get a captain to player value, which matches the captain ID. Okay, so that's actually okay. I should be seeing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right. Okay, that's fine. My ocean battle turn order. That's world NPCs. And it goes from it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. That's Kraken. 5, 6, 7, which is Blackbeard. All 3 ships for Blackbeard. All right. So when in doubt, simplify. Let's take out the Kraken. All right. I'm going to take out the Kraken. I'm going to see whether or not we get player 0 again. One, 0. Okay. Yeah. I will end the turn. I will end the turn. It's your turn. Okay. I'll end the turn. End the turn. Sure. End the turn. End the turn. The turn. End the turn. Hang on, folks. My NPC is going to keep going here. Okay. On the turn, end the turn. And the turn. Watch that it's the Kraken and I don't get player 0. Watch, it's the Kraken that throws everything off. Yep, it's the damn Kraken. Let me try it again just to be sure. Thanks, Adderhaz. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Have a good night. I didn't log in. That's why. I'm like, why did the game not start? Let's see if the Kraken's still the problem. I wear the toad hat. I don't even know what the toad hat is. Oh, here it is. Damn. It's the Kraken. It's that damn octopus. It ruined the entire turn order. Heading to bed. Thanks, Mist. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm gonna head to bed soon in a few minutes now that I know what the problem is here. Well, I'm not sure about bed, but I'm gonna probably end the stream anyways. Yeah, it's the Kraken. Okay, I'm gonna put in a bug. In the bug, it's gonna be we figured out the issue. Who the hell is player 0? Player 0 is the Kraken? Maybe? Maybe it's the Kraken? Why would it be the Kraken? Let's have a look. What are we doing with the Kraken that's so weird? And the answer is, I have no freaking clue. Let's uncomment this. And confirm that we're following the same steps as all the other NPCs. Okay, because I probably just screwed up like a stupid thing. Okay, ship name ID. Yeah, perfect. NPC ID. Yep, perfect. Okay, so we're getting the string ID by machine name. We're getting the NPC ID by machine name. Perfect. We pull from the storage, which is a flat array. We keep track of an open slot in our array. We pull an ID from that array. It's an index, and it tells us that this is the next open slot that we can create a fleet in. Okay, so I'm doing that on Blackbeard as well. We set the total ships to 0 because every time we add a ship to the fleet, it's going to auto increment for us. Perfect. Total captains is 1. Perfect. Fleet general ID. NPC Kraken. Yep. NPC Blackbeard. So far, so good. Now we're going to do the fleet ship setup. Again, we reach into our storage, which is a flat array of ship data. We get the next available slot. Perfect. We set a name. We set a base ship. We set the crew and the hull. 333, 333. So far, so good. We add our ship to the fleet. Yep. We increment the total ships in play. Yes. Then we have to create a world NPC that represents that ship. So let's go down a little. We'll go down a little. We grab the next available slot from our world NPC array. Yep. We set the NPC ID to world NPC ID. Yep. Entity ID to the ship ID. Yes. We set our position, which we do there. We set our type, which is 3, which is ship. That's a magic number that we'll get rid of. Then we'll set that this slot is used. Yes. Then we'll increment our world NPC count. Yes. Then we'll do ocean battle turn order push with our world NPC. Yes. What the hell? Is it because I'm adding it 600 times? Come on. Okay. Do I get... And what the heck? Kraken, you're not supposed to be able to generate on top of a blocked island tile. What the hell? Thought I fixed that. Okay. End the turn. End the turn. Yes. Okay. Yes. End the turn. End the turn. End the turn. Okay. Then it goes here. Confirm. Okay. Player 0. So we're back to player 0. What am I doing? I'm doing nothing weird here. I'm doing exactly the same thing that everyone else is doing, and everything else is working fine until I remove the damn Kraken. NPC Kraken, NPC Blackbeard. Is it like a weird, like... I don't know, NPC Kraken, NPC Blackbeard. Let me just see if there's like... Okay, human, add, yeah, cool. We add the NPC just like we do the Blackbeard, just like we do Kraken, yeah. Technically not a human, but still, that's all good. I feel like I have a red herring, and disabling the Kraken gave me the false sense of security that React gives you when you create a website in it, that you actually did a good job and you fixed a bug, but you didn't. You didn't actually build a website. You just think you did. It's that same feeling. And yet, try as I might, I can't get player 0 to happen unless the Kraken is on. Player 0 without the Kraken. Okay, so it's not the Kraken. All right. So back to who the hell is player 0? I don't know, bro. WTF. Okay, so at least we know that. So it's not the Kraken. Unfortunately, that means that it's even more random. It's even more random than we thought. Okay. And bro WTF does actually happen here. Does bro WTF happen on here? Oh. Interesting. So the client, the players are getting out of sync, but the server is fine? Does that mean that do I have a get game state function here? I do. Could I just run get game state and do that? Could I just go multiplayer dot send to host and then run no, it would be multiplayer send type get game state. Isn't it? I don't even remember. I better just look it up. It's better if I just look it up. Send to host type. Action type. Player action. Okay, why don't I just do this then? I'll just copy this. This is going to be a lot easier than me trying to figure it out. Type get game state. I don't need action. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So my local that's it. Figured it out. Okay. Okay. Actually, we got to do this. Actually, the issue is that players' local states are getting into a wonky place meanwhile, the server state is fine. There's an out of sync issue here, which locks local player state. The fix is to ask for game state from server again. I guess the Band-Aid fix. This is not a code like a game state issue in CH. It's an issue of server client communication. So okay, so at least we've resolved that. That means I can put the Kraken back and not feel guilty about that. So let me do that. I'll put the Kraken back. It can take like a bajillion turns because it's a special thing. And okay. Now, there is an easy Band-Aid fix. The easy Band-Aid fix is the following. What'll happen is at some point here, there's going to be an there's going to be a WebSocket disconnected call. A console log. And the reason why is because after like whatever it is, like 120 seconds, unless you're doing a heartbeat on the WebSocket server, the heartbeat is to keep your WebSocket server alive, it's to keep your WebSocket connection alive from the client to the server. If you're not doing a heartbeat, then after a predefined amount of time, if there's no activity, you'll get auto disconnected. I can, as part of the heartbeat, ask for the game state, which would make sure that even if my local state gets in a weird locked issue, then the heartbeat includes the updated game state from the server, and then I just kind of like unlock myself, because it seems like the server is doing fine right now. It does everything that I need it to do. It's just that I've locked myself into a weird state. Another thing I could do is I could just add a quick helper function before I do all the heartbeat stuff. Maybe somewhere in my multiplayer window here with HTMX, I could do a function call to get my game state. So if I was to do that, then I could just write a helper like this. It'd be a special function, player get player manually get game state. Yeah. And it would just be this. That's it. And I could trigger that with a button call. What could be the button call? Let me see what I'm doing on my server. I have some HTML which sets up our multiplayer. There's our chat. There's our players. Okay, so it'd be like this. It'd be exactly like this. So I could put it, not countdown timer. How about like this? It'd be on click, and it'd be multiplayer. It manually get game state, and a refresh game. We'll call it, just cuz. Okay, let's see if that worked. Yeah, refresh game. All right. Now, player zero's turn. Perfect. Immediately. Immediate debug. Let's see if we can immediately debug it. Crap. Player manually get game state isn't a function. Of course it's not a function because it didn't compile it. Son of a. It's fine. Let's just pretend. Let's pretend. We're gonna pretend, all right? Pretend nobody saw that. Nobody actually saw that. There we go. That does unlock it. That's it. So we're just out of sync. We're out of sync. We get ourselves into a weird state with the game. And that's the only reason why we're in a player zero scenario, because it's not the server that actually has a bad player. It's our local state that thinks that. Player zero's turn. Refresh the game. Player one. Refresh the game. Player one. Boom. Back in business. Okay, I'm committing this. This is a band-aid fix, but band-aid player zero fix. Okay. Well, that's not bad. That's a I think that's going to be a good place to end it. Yeah, this is good. So I have some bugs to fix, but the multiplayer aspect is working. Yeah, single player is still working. Cool. A raid by Jonathan Blow. Thanks for all the viewers who stuck around. I appreciate it. It's late in my night. It's like 11, almost noon, almost midnight. But I appreciate everyone for sticking around, even if it's whatever part of your day it is. I'm gonna go get some rest. I'll probably be back tomorrow streaming. I'm just gonna keep at it. I try and stream at least a few times a week. Um, and I'll just keep plugging away on the game. Like I said, join Discord. Okay, if you like what you see here and you want to talk to me or talk to whoever on Discord, and it helps for me to to be able to know who's who in the zoo, so to speak. But yeah, hop on Discord. I hang out on voice chat whenever I'm not streaming. I try and do that as much as I can. And I one more time I'll shamelessly say, if you like what I'm doing and you want me to talk about it more with people and have the arguments against people who think that like these libraries and frameworks and abstractions and things are okay, and who want to encourage you to continue doing slop, and who don't know how to encourage you to do any differently, and who don't have the ability to like look at actual data and any objective logical arguments about like programming and actually care about their craft and so on. If you want me to go up to bat, to continue going up to bat, just do send in the likes and the reshares and all that. It doesn't have to be financial. Just to help me spread my reach out. Go on my YouTube, all that stuff. It helps to expand my reach, and then I can do more of this to a lot more people. And I don't know, maybe we can go back to like building fun games again and building better software and websites that actually like mean something and don't do stupid things. I would like to see more of that, and programmers who are encouraged to like not be so scared of doing vanilla stuff and yeah, all the good stuff that we used to have that we seem to have lost. Anyway, I think that's it. I think I'm going to call it. It's late. I'm going to call it. I will to anybody out there who's going to sleep soon, have a good night, but otherwise take care of yourselves. Have a good day or evening or whatever wherever. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon. Hopefully tomorrow at some point. Depends on how much work I get done. Thanks everybody for sticking around. Appreciate it. I am out of here. Peace out.